What is up, everyone, and welcome to Umineko, apparently called When They Cry 3. Yeah, apparently When They Cry is like a whole ass series. I didn't even realize that when I first bought this anyway. Nowadays I actually know that, but yeah, apparently this is like a murder mystery story from what I originally read, and since then I've learned a bit more about it. Like, I haven't been spoiled on any like major twists and turns or anything, but like when I first bought this, the description of the game said it was a murder mystery. And I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. Alright, I'm down for a little mystery action, why not? And then, I've come to find out that apparently there's more than that. There's definitely a lot more than just murder mystery. Won't go into details on that, though. I'll let the game play itself out. But, there's a lot more than what I initially expected. Alright, I know that much. But I'm very excited to get into this one. This one comes highly recommended from several others out there, so I'm very excited to see where it goes. So without further ado, start. There we go. What is this? Okay. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4. These locks will remove each time you finish an episode. Please read through the previous episode first. However, if you've already played the preceding episodes, you can remove this with the unlock button. I love how the unlock buttons say this, though. Remove. If you do not progress through the episodes in order, you will probably be confused and lose interest. That's fair. So yeah, I know absolutely nothing about this. Of course, we're going to start with episode 1. Oh ho, fancy. The door, it open. New function, tips mode. In the middle of the game at any time, a right click with the mouse will open up the tips mode. Here beside the save and load function, you can view your character profiles and more. Additional information will be added as you progress through the story. Probably a good idea to take a pic here every once in a while. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. So in case you're ever wondering, like, you're confused, like, okay, what's going on here? You can click on each person. Yeah, I like that, I like that. Okay. Left click to start the game. This story is very obviously fictional and fantastic in nature. Any resemblance to existing individuals, organizations, locations, or instances is entirely coincidental. I was done reading. Wow, that is fucking loud. Hold up. Wait. System. Hold up. Can I not adjust the audio here? Hold up. This shit loud as fuck. We'll just save, I guess. Exit. Original images. Oh. Ew, no. System. No, there's no. Okay, I guess I have to fucking. Where's my goddamn volume mixer? This shit too loud. Yeah, let's bring it down a bit here, yeah? God damn. Like, the main menu did not seem that loud, so I wasn't really expecting anything, but, whew, boy. Alright, let's try this again. Speaking of, again. So you still haven't overcome your love of alcohol. Oh shit, is this a voiceless VN? Is this one where I might have to voice like 50 fucking people? Hell yeah, let's go. The old physician let out a sigh as he removed the stethoscope. 2 elderly men could be seen in the dimly lit study, which was filled with dust and a sickly sweet stench. In the corner of this room, which was much larger than what most people would call a study, was an expensive-looking bed, a man undergoing a medical examination, and the physician conducting it. There was also what appeared to be a servant watching over the whole scene. Oh, hello there. The bottle is my friend. It is no less of a friend than you. It has stood by my side even longer than you have. As the man bearing his chest for the stethoscope rearranged his clothes, he spoke unapologetically. What's with the whole wizard robe? Why does this man look like he got a wizard robe on? What's going on there?
Gunzo-san, your body only appears to be well thanks to the effects of the medicine. However, if you continue to drink such strong spirits, the treatment will become meaningless. Trust my judgment. Refrain from drinking.
I thank you. Though only for the sentiment, my friend. Genji. Another glass. Water it down slightly. That way Nanjo can save face.
Are you quite sure?
After eyeing both the master who demanded the alcohol and the family doctor who forbade it, Genji, the old butler, silently gave a slight nod and carried out his master's orders faithfully. The family doctor, Nanjo, let out a deep sigh once again as he watched the butler busy himself alongside the liquor cabinet. There was a smell filling up the room. This sweet, poisonous aroma felt as though it melted the heart, if not the soul itself. It was the smell of that venomous green drink that the man couldn't bear to part with.
Nanjo, you are my close friend, and we have known each other for quite a long time. I am deeply grateful for all that you have done to keep me alive this long.
I have done nothing. After all, you never listened to my advice as your physician.
And you never listen when I warn you about a mistaken chess move you're about to make. Seems only fair, does it not?
Master.
Thank you. I wouldn't die if I ran out of your medicine, but I would if I ran out of this.
Disregarding Nanjo, who had his face set in a resigned expression, Kinzo took the glass that Genji was holding out to him. Very few people would associate that venomous color with an alcoholic beverage.
Nanjo, be honest with me. How much time do I have left?
Well now, how short must I make it to convince you to set the bottle aside?
Nanjo once again let out a sigh of resignation. Then he finally spoke to Kinzo as the latter swirled his glass.
You don't have long.
What precisely do you mean by that?
Let us illustrate it with the chess game here. You have very nearly achieved checkmate, but you have not yet cornered my king.
Nanjo's gaze was directed at a side table with a massive chess set placed on top of it. Judging by the positioning of the pieces, the game seemed to be entering its final stage. Black's rook and bishop were cutting deeply into enemy lines. White's king had already been castled and cornered, so that even an amateur could see that the match would reach its conclusion before too long. Every time Nanjo came to give a medical examination, both of them would make a few moves. Nanjo was hinting that Kinzo would most likely fall into his eternal sleep before this game could be concluded. These were less the words of a physician than they were the words of an old friend.
Were you a normal patient, I would recommend that you write a will at this point.
And what is a will, Nanjo? Handwritten instructions to the vultures on how to devour and scatter my corpse?
No, not at all. As the word suggests, it is a way for you to record your will for later generations. It is far more than just a means to divide up your inheritance.
Oh. And apart from the division of the inheritance, what might I write of?
You might write of your regrets, or matters you have left unfinished. Things you want to pass down to others, or merely matters you wish to communicate. Anything you want.
Things I want to pass down to others, or matters I wish to communicate. Ridiculous. I,
Ushiromiya,
Ushiromiya Kinzo, have not one thing I want to tell or leave behind. I was born with nothing. I will die with nothing. There is nothing I wish to leave to my foolish children. Even if the end were to come today, even if it were to come right now, I would accept that fate of death without a trace of fear. I created everything. My fortune, my prestige, everything. Those were built up by me, and they will be lost along with me. There is nothing I wish to leave behind. Nothing! After I'm gone, I care not if it all goes to waste. I desire no tomb, no coffin. Those were the terms of the contract I made with the witch. When I die, everything will be lost. That has been part of the promise since the beginning, and that's why nothing will be left behind. There is nothing I can leave behind.
After reaching a furious crescendo, Kinzo suddenly slumped over. His expression was limp and feeble, as though an evil spirit had possessed him and then left.
However, I do have one regret. I have nothing to leave behind, but there's one thing I cannot leave undone. You would do well.
You would do well to write it down. Of course, it would be best if you could finish it before your time comes. However, even if the worst happens, those who come after you will carry it to completion. You must leave behind your regrets so that they can be resolved even if you are unable to do so yourself. That is the purpose of a will.
When Nanjo tried to gently pat Kinzo's shoulder, the dying man flew into sudden rage and batted away Nanjo's hand.
It's useless! 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 It must be done while I still live. At the moment of my death, my soul will be devoured by the demons of the contract and wiped out of existence. For me, there will be no peace or another world after death. That's why everything must be completed before I go. That's why a will has no meaning for me. Even if I had a chance to write such a thing, if I did have such a chance, I'd want to see it. I want to see it one more time. I want to see Beatrice's smiling face one last time. Oh, Beatrice, why have you resisted me for so long? I'll return everything you've given me. I'm prepared to lose everything. So please, show me your smile just one more time. Beatrice, I beg of you. You must be able to hear my plea. That's the kind of woman you are. I beg of you, show yourself to me. You're here, aren't you? You're standing there, invisible, listening to every word I say. And even now you're mocking me from somewhere in this room, aren't you? Please, appear before me once more and smile. Feel free to scold me, even snatch away my life by your own hands if you so desire. I don't want to die alone like this. I cannot let myself die until I've seen your smile just one more time. Beatrice! Beatrice! I offer up this life of mine. I offer it up to you. I'm begging you. Beatrice!
Oh? Oh! Oh, alright, let's go. Okay, okay. I can get down with this. So the opening still uses the original sprites. Fair enough. Creepy. Oh. Okay. Oh, bloody lady. The bottle. Welcome to Rokenjima. I don't know if I want to be at Rokenjima. This place looks like it sucks. There's like murder and shit happening. Why would I want to be a part of that? The first day, October 4th, 1986. Whoa. Make sure move with the times. Can't believe we'll be able to make the trip in just 20 minutes. I couldn't help but scratch my head and marvel at how far things have come in recent years. We used to go by boat. Back then, we were all forced to endure nearly half a day of swaying back and forth over the sea before we reached Nijima. Things have gotten so much more convenient these days. Still, I've never been on a plane this small. I've flown in a huge jumbo jet before, but this will be my first experience in such a tiny one. It's gonna shake, isn't it? They say smaller boats shake more than big ones, so I guess the same rule probably applies to planes. Just spare me.
Don't worry, Battler-kun. It shakes much less than that boat did.
Is that you, George Aniki? Don't scare me like that. You just shaved 3 years off my life. Anyway, what's shaking got to do with anything? You don't think I'm actually scared of the plane shaking, or maybe falling out of the sky or something like, right?
Of course not, my mistake. I see you've changed a lot since we last saw you. After all, it's been 6 years since then. You're not a kid anymore.
Sheesh, and here you are old enough to smoke and drink. I've got no interest in smoking, but I've always wanted to try some booze. Well, if you've got your dad's genes, I bet you can hold down your own when it comes to drinking, right?
Well, I usually drink for business rather than pleasure. It's pretty hard to do business in Japan without it.
That's exactly right. That's why I never miss a chance to get in some practice.
That's no good, Battler-kun. You're still a minor.
Wait, what? You telling me that that man is not a man? Still a minor? Now look at that. That man, that's a whole ass man. Which one of these dudes is a minor? You telling me redhead over there is a minor? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no chance. Like, I know he's the protagonist, and, you know, anime protagonists rarely ever look like, you know, especially anime minor protagonists, they rarely ever look like actual minors. I get it, but come on, you ain't gonna convince me that ain't a whole ass man right there.
Don't you know alcohol can stunt the growth of, never mind.
Come on, I'm tall enough already. I'm tall enough. Is that an excuse some people actually use? Just like, nah man, don't worry about it. I'm tall enough. I've never heard that one before. In fact, it'd be easier to find clothes if I shrunk a little. Oh wait, no, he's arguing about, you know, him saying it would stunt the growth. Okay. I was like, what does you being tall enough have to do with you being able to drink? It's like, oh, he's just saying, yeah, it doesn't matter if it would stunt my growth. I'm tall enough, dude. Okay, I get it now. I get it. I puffed my chest out proudly. Until I hit my growth spurt, my height was below average in my class. But then I grew, and grew. Before I knew it, I'd passed 180 centimeters. 5 foot 11 inches. Holy shit, this man taller than I am. What the fuck? I guess I have all that muscle training and those shady mail order performance enhancing drugs to thank for that. Before then, I never dreamed that I'd shoot 10 centimeters above George Aniki, who'd reached his peak height early on. Yeah, I feel that. Damn, I bet my relatives all say, look how big you've grown, Battler-chan, or something. It's also embarrassing. I wish they'd just give me a break. Anyway, my name, Battler. Yeah, I know, it's really fucking stupid. Well, it's pretty damn weird, don't you think? Oh, God, yes. I was really hoping they would address that. Because, like, when I first, like, looked up this game, I'm like, the protagonist's name is fucking Battler? What kind of stupid shit is that? I'm like, I hope that's just not glossed over. It's like, yeah, no, that's just his name. Yeah, give me an explanation, please. Gotta wonder what my parents were thinking when they named me that. Oh, you don't have an explanation. God damn it. I've never met anyone who could read it right the first time. I usually get called Sento-kun. Sorry, but that's not even close. My name is written like that. I can't read kanji at all, so, yeah, can you read it? I sure can't. The first part is my family name, Ushiromiya. Okay. That's a fairly plausible Japanese pronunciation so far. The problem is my given name. That is made up of the characters for fight and person, and is pronounced battler. Ah, like a fighting person. Crazy. Put it all together and you've got Ushiromiya Battler. Goddamn long-ass names. Pretty crazy, right? It's crazy enough that my parents decided to call me that, but it's even more crazy that some government worker let them make it official. Yeah, no shit. Both groups are at the top of my must-kill list, as they should be. Bro, sometimes the government needs to step in and be like, hey, you can't name your kid that. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, we need people to step in and be like, yo, what the fuck is this name? On God. I mean, listen, yo, here in America, we got, yo, a lot of basic white women fucking giving their kids crazy-ass stupid names, and, like, That's honestly one of my pet peeves, when a parent will just give their kid just, you know, a fucking regular name. I don't give a fuck how common it is. Name your daughter Jenny, alright? Don't call her... Like, the first thing that comes to mind is, like, a few years back, there was a story of, like, this airport worker who laughed at a kid's name when he saw her passport because her name, quote-unquote name, air quotes on that, please, was the first 5 letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. And, like, the mother tried to pass it off like that was an actual name. Her name's Absidy. It's like, that's not a name, ma'am. You took the first 5 letters of the alphabet and said, yeah, no, that's a name. It isn't. That's not a name. That's just the first 5 letters of the alphabet. You can't just fucking call it a name if you want it to be a name. It's not a name. I mean, fuck, at least this dude here, he's got an actual word for a name. At least it's a word. It's a stupid fucking name, but, like, at least it's an actual word, you know? There's some semblance of sense there. But motherfuckers just, like, throw random letters together and shit and be like, yeah, this is my kid. Like, I remember, like, another news story that popped up around the same time because, you know, that was a big thing, the whole airport worker laughing at a kid's name. But, like, at another time, some other woman, like, named, I think her son, like, Ambassador. Like, what the fuck? Like, yes, at least that's a fucking word, but, like, that's an occupation. That's like a job title. What's that? Like, what, are you gonna name your kid doctor? Are you gonna name your kid lawyer? Like, imagine being named after a job title and then going into, like, a career that has nothing to do with that job title. Like, yeah, my name's Ambassador, I'm a plumber. Like, why would you name your kid some dumb shit like that? Or, like, who was it? It's not Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow named her kid Apple. There was another celebrity who named their kid Pilot. The kid's name is Pilot. Now watch, this kid's gonna be a fucking garbage man, alright? This man's just gonna be a fucking, like, some dude who just fucking sits in a cubicle all day doing some kind of fucking office work. Says like, yeah, I work in an office all day. Name's Pilot. Ugh. This shit pisses me off more than anything. I hate when... Just give your kid a fucking regular-ass name. Goddamn. Why can't you people just give your kids names? Why is it gotta be like... Why you gotta try to be creative with it? Don't be creative with it. Just give your kid a name. I don't care if it's something basic. Like, oh, this is my son John. This is my daughter Stacy. Or whatever, you know. Like, obviously, this instance right here is, you know, Japan. So there'd be other names there. But it's like... I don't give a fuck. Pick the most basic name. At least give your kid a fucking name. Anyway, rant over. Let's keep going. Anyway, this is one of my cousins. His name is pronounced Ushiromiya George. George. Does your family, like, just like handing out, yo, English-based names? He's 5 years older than me, so he must be turning 23 this year. Since the Ushiromiya cousins consist of 2 boys and 2 girls, I ended up playing with George all the time. And because I've always thought of him as a big brother, I still call him Aniki today.
Oh, bad luck here. Look how big you've gotten. You know what they say, leave a boy for 3 days and you'll hardly recognize him.
It must be in his blood. Damn, ma'am. What? Quite the tattoo you got there. Jeebus. Rudolph wasn't that tall either until his high school years. Perhaps people end up taller if their growth spurt comes late. Wish mine did. Nah, it's nothing special. A real man needs to be tough on the inside, too.
Exactly. Bad Lacoon here knows how it works. Real men win or lose based on what they've got on the inside. Can't ever forget to keep your training and discipline. You gotta do that, gotta do that, wait very alertly for the perfect moment, and strike. Now, I never imagined I'd become the company president I am today, master of my own domain. Yep, to think I've come this far after starting out penniless and ruined.
This stout, plump old guy is George Aniki's dad, Uncle Hideyoshi. Why does he get a regular fucking name? He's the husband of Dad's older sister. In other words, we're not blood related. Wait, is Hideyoshi his last name then? He's nice to children, sociable all the time, and even quick to give out some spending money to his kids. Simply put, he's an awesome uncle. He speaks an odd and very noticeable Kansai dialect, but he's actually a natural-born Kanto man. Apparently, impressions are everything in the business world. So speaking in a different style than other people is an act that makes him stick out more. However, I hear he gets embarrassed when talking within earshot of a real Kansai person, so he switches back to standard Japanese. I don't really get it, but he's definitely an interesting person. If only you weren't so quick to brag about your life story. That's enough for now, I think. I'm sure Battler's getting tired of it. Aren't you? Nope, not at all. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty cool for a man to have some stories he can brag about. I don't have anything like that at all. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts, huh, Mr. Protagonist? Oh, really? I'd imagine a man with your looks would leave girls crying left and right. I can't believe you have nothing at all to brag about. What? You're joking, right? Of course nothing weird like that's ever happened to me. Heck, I wish it would. Come on, you aren't fooling anyone. You must tell your aunt all about it later. After all, nothing of this sort ever happens to George. Wow, way to roast your fucking kid like that. After all, George doesn't get any pussy, that fucking virgin. This is George Oniki's mother, Aunt Ava. She's my dad's older sister. She and Uncle Hideyoshi are a pair of jokers. They've always teased me back as far as I can remember. This sometimes made them a bit hard to get along with when I was small. Well, I guess the events of the last 30 seconds prove that they can still be hard to get along with. Even so, George Oniki's family is interesting and fun. They seem to get along just fine. Sheesh, that's pretty much the total opposite of my family.